Hey all, good evening, happy Friday Eve, I guess we call it, right? That's what we need to start calling Thursday nights is Friday Eve. Hopefully you're all enjoying yourself. Let me just do solo tonight, so I don't have a producer here with me. So if I can get a quick sound check to see how we are doing tonight there. Thank you, Sean, there for hitting the like button there. So appreciate it, y'all. There say, hey, what's up, Philip and Sean? All right. So don't forget, don't worry, guys. I know I've sent I haven't forgot about the prizes from the last bingo night. Again, they're around here somewhere. I've got to get them in the box. Hopefully, I'll ship them out tomorrow because I'm off tomorrow, and we're going to talk about why I'm off tomorrow there. So, hey, so all right, excellent. Thank you, Philip. Thanks you guys for giving me a thumbs up there on our sound there. So, hey, Lizzie D, what's going on? Thank you for joining us there. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. So this is going to be, I'm going to try to keep it actually to a 30-minute show tonight. Again, I've got tomorrow off, so that means I should be able to stay up late, right? Since I'm no work tomorrow, but there is a reason why I don't want to stay up too late. And actually, there was a whole lot of reasons that this show was almost going to be done a little bit different tonight, and we'll get into it in a little bit here. But at first, we'll go ahead and bust into our one of our favorite segments here. I know you guys all love these questions that we got in here, so we're gonna first jump into, and then we'll keep repeating this question. You guys know what it is. Here comes what the Florida. All right, all right. So here we go. So we've got our game here. You guys know this. You're a bunch of regulars here, so you know what we've got going on here. So here's our favorite game of what the Florida, our cards of many crazy questions. And this week's question is, hold on, somebody must have stacked them because I think I've seen this card before. Hold on. Yeah, I think I've seen this card. We couldn't have already gone. Well, we 52 weeks, I guess. Could have possibly gone through these cards, probably. All right, here we go. So yeah, we have. Wow, it's been really a year already. Jeez, I remember some of these questions, but anyway, here we go. You may not have remember any of these questions, so that's fine. All right. So, what Florida question of the week is? What gift would be awkward to receive from your boss? What gift would be awkward to receive from your boss? So there we go. So there. What would you go ahead and put it in the chat there? What would you find awkward that your boss gave you as a gift? So there you go. When I get a second here, I'll go ahead and pin that in the chat there. Well, I'll go ahead and I'll read it again. I've got too much going on here tonight, so I actually just going to bust over into our cocktail cam here in a second here, make our drink for the night here. So, and I think some of you might actually be surprised what we are busting out of rum. We are. I do hope to eventually get to maybe somebody, maybe a company or even a rum company to sponsor or spirits company to sponsor this segment of our cocktail cam. So here we go. I know you guys are all dying to find out what's our cocktail cam. Vodka. Out of here, Sean. Out of here. No, you're gone. I'm gonna banish you. I'm gonna kick you out. Vodka. What are you crazy? All right. Anyway, so all right. So here we go. Let's go to our cocktail camera here. Let's see what we got cooking at the old bar. All right. So again, this was another one that we made a while back. It was back, man. Like I said, it was almost about a year ago. It was, yeah. I remember. I think we had Ray on our show. She was a local here that lives in town. She was on the show. I think she'd won one of the giveaways or something. So we had her on the show. I asked her to come up with a cocktail for us to make, and she did. And she actually liked this one. So this is a cocktail here. So this is our cocktail camera here, and this is a pineapple craft cider. So hopefully I've had it for at least a year, and hopefully it's still good there. So there it is. This is our it's Ace pineapple craft cider there. Ace pineapple craft cider. So it's a 5% alcohol by volume, gluten free, vegan, no sugar added, blah blah blah. Everyone says that nowadays, right? But do they mean it, right? It's all about that transparency. So there we go. So Ace pineapple craft cider. So the drink was that we're gonna make tonight here. So first, let me go ahead and strain out my excess water. I don't want to dilute my alcohol now, do I? Okay. all the water out that's been melted. All right, there we go. That's not usually a sweet sticky drink that we normally have. And what this calls for, if you're looking at the screen there, so it does call for um, a little bit of mix and a little bit of that. So what we have here is our, give me 1 second here. I can't see the damn screen because I am getting too old. I think it was 6 ounces of the cider, and then some of our. So we have our cider. So again, I'm not going to put this in yet because I was always taught was you put anything carbonated last because you let the carbonation and the bubbles go ahead and do all the kind of the action for you. Like a rum and coke, you don't actually mix that because you're gonna uncarbonate all that stuff. But anyway, so what we've got. So hopefully, I think Sean, you're definitely gonna like this here, and this is going to be. Actually, it calls for a pineapple rum. Can I get some guesses on which pineapple rum you think I'm gonna go with here? I like to hear the choices in the what y'all think is pineapple the pineapple rum of choice here. Let's see. Or I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. Coconut rum. Coconut rum. See, I'm thinking I got pineapple in the brain. So what coconut rum do y'all think that I'm gonna go with here? I love to see what the choices are here. So, or what you guys think I'm actually going to go with. Let's see if you're right or wrong. I don't have anything to give away at the moment, so uh, this is a free. This is going to be a freebie one here, guys. So, do you guys have what kind of pineapple? What kind? Jeez, I keep saying it. What kind of coconut rum do you think I'm going to go with here? The Hawaii 5-0 made with Ace pineapple craft cider. I still probably haven't even gotten it right. All right, so shipwreck is my preference. Okay, shipwreck. Is that the brine? Is that briny shipwreck? I think is that the name of the company, Sean? So now, Sean, we could go with this one if you want. We definitely can go with this one. You know. I think this is where there. I think Ray was making her drinks with Malibu and this pineapple cider, and I said no, 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 no. Let's get something else here. So no, we're not going to. Nope, not Coconut Cartel either. Where's Nia? Because Nia's been asking me about this bottle. I have not opened yet, and I haven't. I have tried it, this coconut rum, but I have not opened it yet. So where is Nia tonight? So, so she got me this white bottle. So she got me this rum, and so as gift, again we exchanged a few bottles here and there where we live local. So she had given this one here. So here we go, folks. You know the company. You've heard of the company. Let me move this stuff out of the way. And you all have heard of Plantation. Plantation rum. There you go. This is the cut and dry. So I did have a chance to try this last year when I was at the Florida Rum Society Miami Takeover. Plantation was there as one of the. They sponsored one of the evenings when we were down in Miami at one of the events. Coconut rum, artisanal infusion. All right, so this is what we're going to go ahead and make our rum with. And again, I'm probably sure some people are going to say this is sacrilegious. I'm putting this and that, but you know what? So this, I think, definitely called for the occasion to go ahead and bust open the old. Look at that! Oh, man, look at that! Hold on, we're gonna do this. Is I don't get it often on the happy hour. I actually open up a fresh bottle, but we're gonna get a nice cork pop. I love the wood cork top here, so here we go. All right, wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad at all. Oh man, that is definitely you got a lot of coconut on this one here. I feel like I have to. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Here we go. We're gonna give my thoughts on what a. All right, my ounce of it is. Let's wipe the bottles down so we don't leave everything all sticky there. There's our rum for the night. Yeah, I need to work on some wireless headphones here. Now we're going to go ahead and add our pineapple cider. Fill it up. All right, and there we go. So cheers. Now, I know there's a lot more garnish here, so I'm cheaping out on the garnishes here, but there's some pineapple wedges, slices, whatnot here, but here we go. Cheers, y'all. Well, definitely, the plantation definitely comes through. Since there wasn't a lot of carbonation, I would still stir this up a hair just to kind of get some of that coconut up to the top. And there you go. There you have it there. Our cocktail camera. Plantation. Cut and dry. And our ace. I gotta reposition that camera. But anyway, there we go. There's our cocktail over the week there. So big cheers, everybody. Hopefully you all are enjoying your own favorite cocktail tonight. So what is everybody enjoying? What is everybody enjoying tonight here, hanging out here in the happy hour here? Are you got any cocktails, man? I know Sean usually is making something good. So Philip, you got any cocktails that you've got in your glass there? So Elizabeth said, what can you make with homemade Bailey's Irish cream? Actually, there's quite a bit. It's probably not a main portion of the cocktail, but it is one of the adders in it. Bailey's. So we'll have to think about that one. I'll have to look that one up. I know there's been many recipes. Definitely the when I did the 25 days of rum mist, our Christmas cocktail series over the last 3 years going, we definitely had. I think we definitely had some Baileys in there, so somewhere along the way. But I'll have to look that up. I'll have to make note of that. It's Bailey's Irish cream cocktails there. So, but anyway, so thanks again for if you're just tuning in here. We just finished up our cocktail cam. We just made our drink there, the Hawaii 5-0. So again, here, if you're just joining us, what gift would be awkward to receive from your boss? There's our question of the week for our What the Florida segment there. So what gift would be awkward to receive from your boss? So there you go. Tell me, you guys, have you ever had an awkward gift that you've received from your boss or even from a friend even? Let me know. I'd be kind of curious to know if that actually did happen or not. So, all right. So we got our cocktails. So I'm enjoying. And as I mentioned, that tomorrow I am off. So this is my Friday. So it actually technically for me, it isn't Friday Eve. This is my Friday Eve should have been. Oh well, I'm all mixed up anyway. I'm trying to get all fancy and smart. But tomorrow we're actually heading out on a cruise. We're going to try the Margaritaville at Sea cruise ship that goes out of West Palm. It goes from West Palm, and it basically leaves, comes back every other day. So it leaves 5 o'clock on Friday. It's because it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Obviously, that's why they picked 5 o'clock to depart, I'm sure. And arrives in Freeport Saturday morning. You're basically on the island all day, and then you're back on the ship by 4:30, and then you're back in Florida by 8, 9 o'clock in the morning Sunday morning. So it's a quick little cruise, a quick little in and out. And again, they do have packages where you can actually stay on the island a little bit longer at one of the resorts. But we're just going to do a quick over there and back. We've hooked up with the Pirates. If you watched a couple episodes ago, you probably already know about this trip. Is where Johnny Ringo, we had Johnny on the show, and he talked about the Pirates and Parrot Head cruise, the Paradise cruise, and that's so we're fun. That the day's finally happened. I can't believe it already. But you know what? We have a cold front, so I'm sure you all are experiencing that big weather making system that's moving through towards the east of the country. And I know in Tennessee, I know up in the north southeast of us, north of us, the southeast, there's a lot of tornadoes in Alabama and Georgia. So I know there's a lot of bad weather coming. But I think it's going to kind of drop out for us. Not be too bad, but it's going to bring the cool. So I'm going to the Bahamas, and the high on Saturday is going to be 59. So the air temperature is going to be colder than the water temperature. And then, of course, there's going to be about 20-mile-an-hour wind. So I'm like, this is going to be fun. So I think all we're going to do is try to enjoy ourselves, not let it get to us, and just do a lot of drinking. So again, here's to cruising in the winter It's talk about just timing. It's just as far as all this goes. We could have actually, a few days, if it just stalled a little bit, the weather here in Florida has been great. It's been high 70s. It's a little cool in the morning, but it's been turned out great. Sunshine, but I don't know. Anyway, so who the hell knows? Well, we'll let you know. Just follow us on the social media. Probably Instagram's probably the best one where I post a lot of the day to day stuff that we got going on there. So, but yeah, follow us over there. But yeah, so that's what we got going on. That's why I thought about it, and then at the same time, because it's Thursday, there was a show down in like Fort Lauderdale area, so about an hour south of here. And I don't know if you guys follow rock and 80s hair metal and hard rock, but if you guys remember the band the Bullet Boys, they're playing in Pompano Beach tonight. And I was trying to line up, maybe trying to interview them tonight, or trying to figure that out. I uh was trying to do a podcast or do something, and then it was my happy hour night. And again, do I try to do the happy hour live from down there, which I've done before, and there was just a lot of logistics, and I didn't really plan ahead enough and to figure it all out. And again, with being us going on a cruise tomorrow, I said, I don't know, maybe I still get the itch to go ahead and just jump in the car and just drive down. I don't think they actually go on until probably close to about 10:30 anyway, so I probably still can make it. But first band I think starts at 9 o'clock. So anyway, that's what's kind of going on. That was what we were thinking about doing, and again, we just kind of say I get sometimes things like this get the better of me, and I got to remind myself just to pump the brakes, slow it down, keep it simple, stupid. So there we go. All right, so yeah, so while we're hanging on here again, I appreciate y'all tuning in and hanging out with us here on our Friday Eve. We're gonna go ahead and jump into one of your definitely your favorite segments that we tune in here about me. I live here, so I consider myself one of these. So let's find out more about this week's Florida Man. This just in. Breaking news about this week's Florida Man. Now here's Paul Robertson. All right, so here's our story here about our Florida Man. This is why we got the name of the title of this episode here is Florida Man arrested after victim in bondage gear found beaten to death. Now this is some crazy stuff that goes on here. All right, so Brian Scott DeMello, 34, confessed to beating victim after he allegedly bit down on his genitals, deputies say. So hopefully, if you got any kids in the room, you might want to have them leave because this may get a little graphic. So here we go. A 34-year-old man was arrested last week, months after another man was found dead in Kissimmee while wearing bondage gear. Now, for you that don't live here, Kissimmee is close to Disney, Orlando area, just kind of put a frame of reference. Mr. DeMello, who was the last known person to have contacted the victim, was arrested Tuesday on a manslaughter charge. According to the Osceola County Sheriff's Office, deputies were called to an address in Kissimmee on September 5th in regards to a suspicious death. Deputies arrived at the scene to find a man dead who was wearing bondage gear and appeared to have trauma to his body. After identifying DeMello, who was the last person to have contact with the victim, deputies said DeMello told them he had a sexual encounter with the victim prior to his death. According to authorities, DeMello claimed that he and the victim met on an online chat group for sexual encounters and arranged to meet in person. DeMello claimed that the victim was performing oral sex on him and bit down on his penis, which led to DeMello beating the victim unconscious, authorities said. DeMello then fled the scene without calling 911 or trying to help the victim. The medical examiner's office determined that the victim's death was caused by blunt force trauma and strangulation. An arrest warrant for manslaughter was later obtained for DeMello, and he was taken into custody last Tuesday in Seminole County. DeMello, who was transferred to the Osceola County to face the manslaughter charge. Authorities said he was found with methamphetamine at the time of his arrest and will also be charged with drug possession. So there you go. This sounds like a scene from Pulp Fiction, actually. Did anybody see Pulp Fiction? That was in the scene at the end of the movie where this definitely sounded something really weird. So definitely don't, take a bite out of crime when you're answering your ads for S&M. So yeah, there was a that is a crazy story. This is It's a new one, I think. Again, Florida Man. It always starts off with Florida Man, and here comes the story, whatever it may be. Um, Wonder if one of those Disney employees. I'm just reading the chats now. I wonder if one of those Disney employees who have been in the news recently, the kind of stuff. Who knows? Sex, drugs, and online platforms, horrible mix. Uh, yeah, it's wow. Yeah, you always gotta love the comments for social media, and that's where things get really crazy. So yeah, so there we go. Well, good luck there, Mr. DeMello, in jail because I think you're gonna be probably facing some jail time. Again, you did at least admit to it, so hopefully you do get off on a some type of guilty with a plea or some type of because you are saying you did it that you get off a little bit of time. But that's kind of crazy. That's really crazy. I I don't know. There's so much to. I mean, all these stories that when somebody ends up, being deceased. There's a whole story behind it and a whole lot of other things that are unfortunate. But things can go freaking crazy. Can go sideways. So all I know is I'm reading this story and the last comment in the chat here. Come on, guys, you got to need to pick up the pace on the thick chats because the last comment in the chat I see from Sean says this is the talk about weird timing. Still sounds like a good time. That's that is definitely ironic twist of timing of reading that chat and then after reading that story. So I guess I assume that's why he was hungry. Liz was saying that can be definitely seen as maybe uh, you know, they didn't say anything about bath salts, but he did have meth on him. So, I mean, those bath salts here in Florida definitely can get people really kind of weirded out. And so, yeah, I guess he's hungry. I don't want to. I'm not going to go and ask you what he was hungry for. I think the story was self-explanatory. So that's all we're going to say, and we're going to leave it right there. So, um, oh my God, that's kind of like I said, kind of a bit crazy in this one. Florida man arrested after beating the victim. So, like I said, oh my God, Liz, terrible, terrible. Terrible. You're terrible. So we're engulfed in your storytelling. Oh, that's funny. I know. I'm trying to read. I'm reading the chats, and I know I'm live. Going live in the video. Obviously a delay there, so it's actually funny getting caught up in the comments versus the chats. Here, I know. I was in the chat there with Roy and Royer and Cole last night, and Robert, whichever he goes by as according to Doc Brown. Uh, and they were talking again in the chat. It's like they're trying to catch up. They're doing their show. They're trying to catch up to the story, reading comments, and the comments don't line up now to what they're talking about now because they're going back and so forth. So, but anyway, so there's your Florida man of the week. Uh, yeah, I said I'm not quite sure what to say actually to that. So there we go. So there's to you. There's your weird story of the week. S&M and bondage and online ads and just don't go together. So, yeah, just a little nibble, I guess. So, oh my God, no mustard. Yeah, I guess not. So, this is going. The chats are now definitely going sideways now. So I careful what I ask for in these stories. So, but anyway, so while we're still going through our conversation here, again, I'll go ahead and quick shout out here for our question. So no, I haven't seen any comments yet from people post or commenting about it. What gift would be awkward to receive from your boss? So I'm sure it looks like nobody's brave enough to kind of answer that question, which I'm actually surprised. I swear, Just Drinkin's chat runs at least 5 minutes behind you. You're good, Paul. Sean, it might be because I don't have. I know we're trying to grow the community here. I know there's a lot of people in those chats going crazy. So, but no, thanks, Sean. Um, all right, yeah. So the Florida Man of the Week, our cocktail cam of the week, our What the Florida segment. There, I told you that we're going to kind of really try to keep it true and close to our true sense of our happy half hour and so forth. And unless you guys keep me longer, like I said, I do have things I do have to pack. I have to pack like my 2 pairs of swim shorts for tomorrow, and that's pretty. With my, that's right. Like I told you, it's a pirate and a Jimmy Buffett themed cruise. So you have to be wearing your pirate gear or your Jimmy Buffett shirts and whatnot. So I have to pack that as well, and probably my long john underwears as well too. So, uh, but anyway, so yeah, so that's tomorrow. Like I said, like I said, I've got some things to do. Actually, well, I also probably need to make sure I get to bed early enough so I can get to the post office and mail Sean's and Phillips prizes from a couple weeks ago. So, speaking of that, actually, guys, I told you it would take a little while to catch for me to catch up and get the stuff mailed out. But I'm just trying to look here at my whiteboard to see what dates we have coming up. So today is the 12th. So we have two more Thursdays in January, and we do have. I think we're going to try to schedule a birthday happy hour for somebody for one of our regulars. And I don't see this person in the chat. So, um, but that's coming up at the end of the month. So we're just got to figure out when I'm going to do the bingo for this month. We're only going to do the one game, not a three game like we did back in December. But yeah, so just stay tuned. It might be next week. I mean, obviously we're running out of Thursday, so it might be next week or it might be the 26th. So just stay tuned. Just follow, all the social media stuff. Somewhere eventually we'll post it. And if it's going to be next week, hopefully I'll get ahead of it and let you guys know when it is. But remember, I started. We're going to go ahead and the bingos are available if you are a Patreon subscriber. But what I might also do is, if as I know, in a minimum of the $5 a month. But if what I might also do is, if you wanted to play, is maybe just as simple, if a one-time payment per play, like the Cash App or something to that effect. Maybe a little bit reduced cost on that. Again, it just helps cover. I'm gonna have to ship and mail the stuff out, and that's all I ask for. Try to put it back into the show and kind of keep these things going on. So, I condoms. Liz, I don't know where we keep going with the condoms here. So I'm not giving out condoms either. So, Drums and Rums condoms. Maybe that's what I got to look into if that's what you're hinting at. But I mean, the only other new merchandise we do have is our Drums and Rums keychains there. So we do have that. We're going to be working on getting out there to if people are available, if you're interested in picking one up. So, but yeah, so that's what's coming up here. We got two more Thursdays to go. We'll figure it out when we're going to do the bingo. I'll send you more information here in the chat regarding the whether we're going to, obviously if you're Patreon, we'll try to keep track and let people know. And then or the Cash App if you want to still join us for bingo either next week or on the 26th. So, but also, if you do listen to the podcast in the morning, I do drop call it the carpooling with Paul, and again, it's a quick 8 to 10 minute little podcast where I just have a topic that pops in my head. It's a conversation if we're in the car together, just chatting on our way to work. And one of the things is, I'll different things. But what I'm concerned about now is I may have kind of diluted or kind of confused folks on the Drums and Rums channel on the podcast. So what I'm going to do is after tomorrow will be the last episode until further notice, and then I'm going to figure out how to kind of either keep the daily podcast going, or also move it to its own actual its own channel and not mixed in with the Drums and Rums stuff, because I think it might be confusing folks that are coming to find out and hear Drums and Rums and you hear some idiot talking on his way to work and background noise in the car and there's no talk about drums or rums. So again, I appreciate if you guys have been listening to it. I appreciate it. I've gotten some interesting listeners on this. I do see the stats. And this is one that I don't even get a chance to I don't even promote this one. I don't, like on social media. It's just, I put it out there. And sometimes some of these episodes just and I look at the stats to see where people are listening. And I was like, I don't know how people are picking this up, in South America or Europe or Germany or, places like that. And it just kind of blows me away how people stumble and find certain things. But yeah, again, just kind of want to let you all know that if you do listen to it, we'll don't worry. We're gonna try to. I do talk about it in tomorrow's episode when you listen a little bit about this whole thing about niche, content and so forth. So you'll get the gist of where I'm going with it. So, but yeah, so that's what's going on there. Podcast coming up next week. If you did see the live stream, I think some of you already have seen it, heard it. Was with Tiki John, and we had a great live stream last Saturday where John and I were talking about all sorts of things, rum, tiki stuff, The events coming up here. The Miami Rum Congress is coming up, which we'll talk about when we as we get closer to that date. And so that drops soon. And we got a couple other episodes with a couple of the drummers, and I may transition a little bit more to focusing on musicians and so forth, and just try to maybe trying to bring other rum aspect into this in a different perspective, or I don't know, just trying to grow and just trying to grow all this, and just try to put what I can back into the show, and try to make it better for everybody. So, but anyway, so that's, I think I've hit all my marks here. Let me go ahead, and before we wrap up here, I want to make sure I give my our plugs here. Is this it? Nope. There we go. All right, so our shameless plugs here. We just want to give a shout out to some of our friends and other supporters here of our podcast. So definitely, as you see there on the screen, Jams and Coffee every day, 8 a.m. Monday through Friday, and also Jams and Cocktails every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. So check out Brad Brock. He hosts both of these shows, talks a lot about music and so forth. Philip and I, Philip in the chat, they usually are hanging out in the morning there, as well as on the Wednesday nights. I do have to time shift between a couple of my Wednesday night shows that I watch. But also the show is presented by the House of Wine, Beer, and Spirits. So definitely check them out there. They are here locally in West Palm Beach. If you got a product there that needs distribution, give them a shout out there. So again, we need to catch up with Mario and see what's going on for January, and see what kind of events we want to do and hang out, and or maybe some new products we want to find out more about with those guys too. And then also, lastly, there we've got a few other folks here, friends of ours on the show, the podcast, the what we call the Rum Posse. So Nia from My Rum Diaries. So check her out on her YouTube channel. She posts a lot of great reviews and content. Johnny from Ready Set Rum, Jason the River Pirate, and also, as we talked about, the Just Drinking Boys, Roger and Roy and Robert. There every Wednesday night they do a live stream and a weekly review of some sort of rum product or bottle that they've got. So definitely, we're all trying to help each other out, support each other, give shout outs to each other, and kind of grow everyone together all at the same time. So again, well, I guess I'm probably as close to half an hour as I probably have ever been here in a long time, and not running the show way over. Again, I appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. Again, we'll try to keep it simple, quick half an hour, get you in and out. Like I said, I got to go pack for our cruise tomorrow. So definitely, again, follow, spread the word. Hopefully, also, if you didn't get a chance, and if you saw a posting, if you've probably seen her, she's all over social media. A quick plug for the episode we finally dropped in video was with Dorothea Taylor, the godmother of drumming. Super great, grandma, right? And that's what she is. She's so super humble, so super cool. She's killing social media. She's been all over the place, and I had been sitting on that video for almost about a year and a half because I just hadn't gotten around to posting it, etc. And finally got it out there, and yeah, so check it out if you hadn't. It's a great conversation with Dorothea, and again, like I said, you've probably seen her everywhere. She was actually on the Tonight Show after being on our show, our podcast, which was freaking cool for me to at least say that she was on my show before Jimmy Fallon's show, which is kind of cool. So, but yeah, so check out all the other stuff there. Spread the word, spread the love. And like I said, you guys know what the drill is and how to get things going there, and so forth. But I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight there, hanging out with me for a quick, not quick, but the actual the times that we were shooting for here is our normally do our happy half hour. And appreciate it all. Have a great, I think most of y'all probably have a nice long weekend there. Looks like next week will be a 4-day work week, a nice long weekend. Football playoffs started, so we're back in it. Dolphins didn't make the playoffs. They're probably going to freeze in Buffalo, but hey, we're going to go for it anyway. So I appreciate all for tuning in tonight there. Have a great weekend, because mine starts right now. I'll see y'all next week or somewhere on social media. You'll catch me. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a great night.